Hey everybody, welcome to the Partnerships with Purpose podcast. We're going to explore ways to engage communities through service learning projects and research. I'm Cedric Shai with the Texas Target Communities program at Texas A&M University. We're hoping these stories will highlight and inspire more community-engaged partnerships. So today we have our new Cooper Scholars, our very first Cooper Scholars. We have Jaylen and Windia here to talk about themselves and kind of what led them into this planning work. So let's start with Jaylen. Jaylen, tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to planning.
So hi, my name is Jaelin Lopez and I'm a junior undergraduate urban planning major. And what led me to planning was, my upbringing and where I'm from. So I'm from Mission, Texas, the Rio Grande Valley. Mm-hmm. And one thing about the Rio Grande Valley is it lacks a lot of resources. And it was apparent to me, even, 10, 12 years ago, that there was a lack of love and care that went into these outdoor spaces. Parks were extremely important to me growing up. This was my outlet, for myself, my friends, my peers, my family, both physically and mentally. This was our space to decompress. And then over time, seeing these places, deteriorate and go unloved and uncared for, people stop visiting, and not only is it the lack of care that affects visitation, but also the lack of infrastructure to support it. So for lack of better words, it makes me sad to see these spaces go unloved and, wasted. So when it came time to think about what career path I wanted to go down, it was apparent to me that I needed to do something that will help me support my community. And then once I found out about the planning program at Texas A&M, well, it was a wrap from there. So
how did you find out about the planning program? Like, what was it? Just word of mouth? Was it did you want to be an Aggie always, or?
Well, no, I was kind of willing to go anywhere, but then I wanted to do something community-based. So then I thought, okay, architecture. And then so I looked into the University of Houston. I looked at their programs, and then I was like, okay, well, they don't really have what I want exactly. Like, architecture just doesn't seem right. And then they only had a master's program for urban planning. And then I looked, and then I found that Texas A&M had, undergraduate urban planning, and it sounded perfect to me. So
that's great. So we also have Windia here. Windia is the other winner of the Cooper Scholars. So Windia, tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to planning.
Hi, my name is Windya Welideniya, second year Master of Urban Planning. As an immigrant from Sri Lanka and first generation college student from a low income background, and my life has been shaped by navigating diverse community and face many challenges growing up regional area and a lot of difficulties in that area, especially resources, mainly access for the transportation, and a lot of equitable development, those areas. I have many experience in diversity, disadvantaged communities in our area. Those experience inspired me to seek many ways to create inclusive, resilient and sustainable communities in our areas. And this experience naturally drew me to urban planning field, where I could merge my interest in social equity and transportation and public service.
So what led you to the Texas A&M urban planning
This is my different story. I won the green card lottery because I came here for American Dream, because I work as a city planner in my country in one of the government planning agency. I first time came to Utah, the Salt Lake City. One of my friend invited me to stay with him. Then I applied many jobs, city planning, but I didn't get any planning jobs. So I met one of the planning director when I applied jobs. Then he helped me networking people, and he introduced Professor Evis Gracia.
Professor Evis, who's a professor in the master's program. Yes.
He worked University of Utah. She gave me a lot of network and helping, and I joined with her some non-profit organization, the project work. So I part-time I work with her, and I learn a lot of things, community participation, project, and the site visit and things. And when she move here, Texas A&M. I need to. Then I didn't get the job. I thought that I need to do some
more learning.
Yeah. So I applied University of Utah and Texas A&M, and I debating whether I am moving Utah to Texas. Very hard time because very hard to move. Then finally I decided to move Texas A&M. I'm so glad I'm been here.
Woohoo! Yeah, welcome to Aggieland. That's an awesome journey of coming from Sri Lanka to Utah to Texas.
Yes.
And you seem very resilient and very you're very focused on, just like I feel like you and Jaylen are both very focused on wanting to give back to your community, wanting for communities to be resilient, especially those that are low capacity. And that's kind of like, that's what we do at Texas Target Communities. And that was a big reason why you guys became Cooper Scholars, because we felt that y'all embody that work. So either one of you guys, can you think of like maybe a specific project you did in high school, or even a project you've done in your undergraduate program, Jaylen, or Windia, maybe a project you did with EVIS that was formative and even hit home more that I want to be a planner, I want to work for communities?
The part of the community engagement project, that was great because we engaged community, and basically that project Southeast
the Southeast Texas Urban Integrated Field Lab.
Yeah, so
it's a long title.
So that project is very exciting. Day before yesterday, we presented our community, basically our main stakeholders, final project proposals. Basically, that project we learn about how to engage the project, how can get the feedback, and how can incorporate planning process, and how can get the ideas to implement planning development. That is exciting project I engaged recently.
That's great. Jaylen, do you have any projects as well that you felt furthered your passion for communities, or are you wanting to do more of those projects? Where are you at as an undergraduate?
Yep. So a formative project that I got to take part of was in high school. I was in a club called DECA all 4 years. In my junior and senior year, my best friend and I came up with a project. We called it Learning for the American Dream. And the whole premise was, giving back to the community. And I feel like oftentimes it's so easy to overlook parts of the community, you don't see, you don't hear about. But, it's important to be mindful, especially like in urban planning, of like every single nook and cranny of the community. So in this project, we focused on, collecting educational supplies for foster care children within our area, and collaborating with 4 foster care agencies. It really helped me better understand our community and like the demographic of it all, and what we need to work towards, and so working through that for those 2 years really sparked my interest in communities and like giving back, and emphasized the idea of remaining mindful of our communities and how we can give back in any way that we can.
Yes, something we say at TTC is who's at the table. And if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And a lot of times, even with the Port Arthur project, Windia, when you guys presented, I was there, and it was awesome seeing all of the things that the community was saying, and even the community members didn't realize how many pockets of groups and organizations were doing work. They just weren't communicating with each other. They just weren't all on the same, they weren't all at the same table. Yeah. And planners, we have a really cool opportunity to bring all the voices together to make more informed decisions that seats everyone at the table. Because a lot of times, and we know this, especially you guys being in diverse communities, there are a lot of times there are people more that are on the menu than at the table. So it seems like you guys are dead set on just including all parts of community. I think it's really cool to see. So being a first-time Cooper Scholar, maybe what is something you're both excited about? We've had a few of our onboarding meetings with you guys, and is there maybe something that you're specifically excited about?
Well, something I'm looking forward to is taking part in those community meetings with TTC. I think it's really great to interact with community members and learn more about the different parts of Texas, what they're going through and what they need, and then discussing with these members and learning more. I'm always excited to learn more at the end of the day. Like, I think that's just like the most rewarding thing in life, is just learning more and then interacting with people. I'm also looking forward to, meeting with John T. Cooper, and getting to hear about his experiences and hopefully learn some things there.
Yeah, he's got a lot to learn, for sure. He's got a lot to learn from. Windia, anything you're specifically excited about? I know you've worked with TTC a little bit in your classes already, but
last semester I worked with the TTC, especially for the the engagement, the community engagement project. I think it, and this scholarship also more help me my personal and professional improvement, and that is great opportunity. And also Cooper scholarship helped me to more mentorship and get some more ideas about community participation and more involvement for my next semester. And after my graduation, it will help for my professional career development too.
Awesome. So we got Windia, who's in the master's program, and Jaelin, who's in the undergraduate program. Is there anything you would want to tell students that are thinking about coming into these programs? Is there any lessons learned that you maybe want to talk about, Jaelin, as you're a junior now, or any cool projects, or even a shout out to a professor that has that you want to shout out?
Well, the undergraduate program has been awesome. I just want to emphasize that there are so many resources out there. Like, take advantage of, your peers and your professors. And, shout out to Professor Gobobai. He's awesome. He's amazing. He has so much passion. I feel like some of his passion rubbed off on me, and, building better cities, coming in. I mean, I knew I wanted to do urban planning, but then taking his class just further emphasized wow, I aspire to be, as passionate as him and be as involved and ingrained in the community as him. So just really, rely on your professors, interact with them, introduce yourself. And also take advantage of GIS. I've loved GIS. I just haven't taken the class. I would love to take advantage of GIS, but, I'm Cedric, Windia and I were just talking about how we need to practice, because I need practice. I'm slowly forgetting things, but that was an awesome class, and it's an awesome program.
Okay, so Windia, for the master's program, is there anything you would want to tell anyone that is thinking about joining the master's program? Is there a professor shout out? I mean, we've already shout out Dr. Evis.
Yes, so I took class from the Professor Shannon Vincent class. Mostly she teach us the urban revitalization. Mostly we learn about gentrification and how to community disparities communities, and what are the issues. When I go into my field, I concern about how to concern about that community for the part of our planning process.
Wow. So it seems like you're even looking into land use and
land use, zoning, land use, and think about that, how to, as a planner, to concern about people, basically the segregation and gentrification and those things.
Yeah, those are very, very difficult discussions to have, and I think as planners we have to have them.
Yes.
Because if we don't, typically people, like I was talking with John Cooper about this, and he says typically people take the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance is a lot of times the people that are poor, the people that have less resources to be able to speak about what they need. And planners, we can think intentionally about, hey, let's not put a landfill by these people that are poor, because it's actually having a lot of adverse effects on the people south of the area, cancerous, the environment, all these kind of things. And a lot of times I think now planners are opening their eyes to see, we played a part in this. We played a part in creating cities in this way, and now it's time to reverse that. And I think you guys are doing that. I think you guys are the planners of the future. I'm excited to have y'all in on TTC as our first Cooper Scholar cohorts. And we're excited to hear more about you in the future. Thank y'all for coming.
So excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Cedric. You help us to the whole process. This program.
If you'd like to learn more about our program, check out our Instagram at TAMUTXTC, or head on over to our website, tx.ag/TXTC.